Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses, helping you be the person your horse deserves. And today, I don't know about you, but I like a little bit of the history behind the story behind the story, some trivia. And so today we're gonna show you and tell you why you'll hardly ever see a Western person riding in a full cheek snaffle. So if you're from the English world, full cheek snaffles are very common. They're probably one of the most common snaffle bits in the English world. And what it is, I got some of my bridles here. These are all either O-ring, D-ring, egg butt snaffles, and that's generally what the Western people use. Okay, so on an English bridle, they have a small little ring right here where they attach the rein, and then they have a bar that either comes, the full cheek snaffle has a bar that goes up and down. A half cheek only has the bar that goes down. And normally there's a little ball on the top and the bottom. And yeah, they're, 3 or 4 inches tall. And that's generally the English bridles. That's what they have, probably most common. But you very seldom see any Western guys riding in it. And so I'm gonna tell you why. So when the Western guys are riding, there's a chance that we could be roping. And if you're doing anything, especially back in the day, a lot of guys roped. It was way more common. Cowboys would carry a rope on their saddle and rope than maybe it is today. But anyway, when you're roping something, and if you're going to hold it for very long, you're going to stay faced up. So your horse is going to be faced up to the cow. And occasionally, especially if you're in a snaffle, those horses are a little greener. The ones that are more advanced are in a shank bit. And the greener horses, when they're in the snaffle, they would maybe rub their nose on or their cheek and itch it on that rope because it's nice and tight and it's right there by their head. And they would get that rope over the top, and it would get, but between the cheek piece and their face. And then of course they would feel a little restriction there, and then they would put their head up, and then of course that made it worse. And now the thing's getting a little bit irritated, and he's kind of scared and throws his head around there, and of course it can cause a wreck. So after that happened a time or two, those cowboys said, no, you're not gonna do that anymore. So they don't use full cheek snaffles. And so that's why you'll get something snagged on it. Could be some brush, it could be a rope, it could be, whatever. And anyway, it would cause problems. So Western guys, we use an O-ring or a D-ring, egg butt snaffles. So a friend of mine named Patrick Sadler is from Germany. He's a rein cow horse guy over there, really cool guy. He was coming over and visiting for a few weeks. And while he was here, I was making a couple of bits. And so we were talking about stuff, and he said, well, why don't you make a D-ring, but make it the same length as a full cheek? And I've used full cheeks before. In fact, I really like them, especially for starting colts, for young colts, because it distributes the pressure over a larger area, a longer distance. And so it doesn't pinch them as much. And so it's really nice. I really like it for that. Of course, after you ride them a few weeks, they start going off your neck rein a little bit and your legs, and so you're not really pulling on the direct rein as much. But for the beginning, it's really kind of nice. So I thought, that'd be a cool idea. So I made one, and so this is what we came up with. So this is the same length as a full cheek snaffle. It's quite a bit longer than your O-ring, D-ring, stuff like that. So it's pretty long. But it's nice because even though it's a full cheek with your head stall attached, it still doesn't allow the rope to get in there and get snagged on that deal. So yeah, kind of a cool little project, something I finished up today, got it all polished up. So we're gonna try it and see, if I can find anything I don't like about it. So yeah, look for some updates in the future. We'll have to see if I like it. I might have to start making a few of them. So anyway, just a little bit of information, kind of the why behind some of the traditional gear that English people use and the Western people use, and why sometimes it's not the same. Anyway, hope this tip helps. Hope this helps give you a little more information on your horse. Catch you guys later.